Winds and spirits and stars, hello. We are going on a nice, calming, hopefully, adventure today. And because a certain scholar from Rivenleaf University in the north has asked us to help build a fishing compendium, I believe. And I'm not entirely sure how this could go wrong, but I have a bad feeling about it. This is, hello, Steve Bot Billows, meaning from the billows. Oh, I didn't expect to meet someone all the way out here. You wouldn't happen to be familiar with fishing, would you? I apologize if I am too forward with my request, but I am searching for a specific fish that I have heard makes these waters its home. It's small but very precious. Its scales are a pleasant cedar pink. I would be most grateful if you were able to catch one and show it to me. Okay, well, you came to the right place. Most people in the braided shore are pretty proficient at fishing. Let's try here first. The fish are jumping up today. Where's a good place in the water? So, a cedar pink fish. I'm not necessarily an expert at fishing, but nope, that's a shiny roots fish. It's a tiny bait fish with shining scales. When the Askin folk first landed in the braided shore, they assumed the woods fish to be another creation of the Eldens because its hard scales and metallic appearance. Any attempts to break open or cook the fish were useless, as the scales only grew harder over fire. It wasn't until a fisher discovered that if you dried the fish slowly in until you dried the fish slowly in the sun that the scales naturally flake and fall off, revealing soft flesh of the fish. Oh, neat. Okay. So maybe I can use that for bait later. I'm going to try to not go on a tangent about the Eldens, because this is fish, but in the braided shore they're known for being the first people to live here, and they disappeared 4 ages ago. And more roots fish. They're also known for all of the machinery that we use here, such as the trains and other leftover... Is factories the right word for it? They used to have large buildings that would refine jade. At least that's what they thought it was. Let's see. I wonder if this is the right spot to try to catch this. I'm pretty sure I've caught a fish with cedar pink scales from this location before. This is a spine fin flatfish, so not this one. Flatfish are scavengers and trappers that lie on the ocean floor covered in coarse gravel. Their impeccable camouflage renders them nigh invisible to the naked eye. The only way to catch an elusive trapper is to trap them back, hook, line, and sinker. Maybe I will... Maybe I'll throw that one back. I'm not looking to carry tons and tons of fish around with me today. I feel like that would make my backpack rather stinky. Oh, another spine fin fish. At least the roots fish I could possibly use as bait for larger things. It's easier to fish if you stand out in the water a little bit. Oh no, I am catching drift right now, it seems. That's not a good sign. Entrance. I know there's another way to... There are some kids that play around here occasionally, so I guess I'm not surprised that I'm catching train toys. But the braided shore economy is often built off of fishermen and trading. Although, since I'm dragging up garbage, I'm not sure that that's the best spot to fish anymore. I know that there is one other location. And we're going to teleport because I don't feel like running through the water. It's much harder to fish out here because you have to cast the line further. Traveler's Meadow is a beautiful place with lots of little blue flowers, and I love it. Spending time here is nice. Western Snapper, no, I'll throw that back. I'm not looking for that. Spirits grant me luck on this one. False carp. Not quite. When the false carp was originally discovered and named by the residents of the braided shore, they thought this odd-looking fish was in fact an omen in disguise. Oh! After a time, however, it became very apparent that this was just an uncommonly weird-looking fish. A rather large, decently large looking fish, but I would not put it past an omen to disguise itself as a fish. There have been omen that have disguised themselves as teapot to run away with tea. The voices on the wind are very right. The flowers are very beautiful. What are you? Lantern shark, the smallest known shark, which might not say much since the sea is vast and many yet to be discovered creatures lurk in the depths. The lantern shark can be found off the northern coast of the braided shore, and it gets its name from its ability to produce luminescent chemicals from glands underneath the skin. Alchemists would know more about that than I would. The glowing glands make it a popular snack for certain types of fish and popular bait for certain types of fishers. Well, if it can be used as bait, I'll keep it. I'm going to have to start carrying around glass urns with water in my pack. Another western snapper, also known as an uku fish. These large jade fish are found in waters around the western peninsula. The flesh of the western snapper has a firm texture, but has a very versatile taste that allows for preparation in a number of unique ways. Alright, well, I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to throw it back. I guess if people thought the fish was an omen, if the false carp was an omen, then they probably didn't keep it too often, considering omen are nature spirits, and I don't know that you want to annoy them. Common crescent fish, a marble cobalt fish commonly found in most waters around the braided shore. Its name comes from the crescent, the weapon of choice around the braided shore due to its sharp curved back spines that extend when the fish is submerged. Well, you can go back in the water a little, buddy. I don't particularly wish to be stabbed by a fish. Well, someone got away with my bait. It is also common for fishers to smuggle goods. I've met at least a couple that do that, and I'm not telling the wardens on them because I feel a little bad about it. My pack is starting to be full of fish. I'm going to have to get rid of some of them. They're going to get smelly. However, due to the blockade and issues with trade with Casa, which is hard to get into, smuggling has become pretty common. Another western snapper. We can throw you back. Spirits, I could use a little luck right now. I'm still looking for this elusive cedar pink fish. Should I try praying at the shrine? Maybe. May as well. Forgotten Shrine hasn't seen some use. turning me into a goat is not necessarily helpful. Something tells me that the Sephra have a sense of humor today. I don't know that goats are good at fishing. Can I not be a goat? I would like to not be a goat. Well, my fishing skill increased, and that's a rather hilarious time for that to happen. I really do think the Sephra have a sense of humor right now because this is ridiculous. Whatever Sephra presides over Traveler's Meadow apparently has a wonderful sense of humor and thinks it is very funny to turn me into a goat while I am trying to fish. Is there a way for me to become not a goat, maybe? This is useful if I was trying to go a long distance, but it's not terribly useful if I'm trying to fish. There we go. Well, at least that I was able to get rid of that. The blessing, air quotes. We're just gonna call it a blessing. I do not want to make anyone mad. Alright. Back to finding this rather elusive cedar pink fish. Whatever voice on the wind said classic Sephra, that sounds good. The power of olive leaf can turn me back. Apparently you were right about that. Though perhaps if I had better luck in casting a line, I might actually be able to find this thing. Oh, that's true. Olive leaf. The Droyle family in Casa does sell olives. Don't ask me how I got into Casa. Oh, no, it's I forget where the Droyle family is from. Are they from the Billows? Are they from a different Oso by the... No, they're from Oso by the Canal, I believe. Which is also further north and the roads are closed. So the merchants are stuck in Casa. Oh. But yes, the Droyle family sells olives, and I think olive products that I'm not entirely sure are the cure-all that they claim them to be. I'm not sure how much of the Droyle family is pretty standard, or pretty stand-up merchants? Is that how you would say that? I think they're one of the long-standing families in Oso by the Canal, but I'm not 100% sure if that is the right location. I know there's a merchant that sells fish. I would have to get to them, because they're all the way in Westwind Shores. But there is a merchant that sells, that I think I've seen selling a cedar pink fish before in Westwind Shores. However, well, this is another false carp. Yay, maybe the omen are also playing tricks on me today. More common crescent fish. I'm going to have to find someone who will trade well for all of this fish when I'm done with it, because I have absolutely no idea what I am going to do about this. Oh, lantern shark. Maybe if I change bait for a minute? Oop. If I can change bait. I'm not sure that the woods fish will make this any better, but we will try. Yes, we're having lots of grilled fish for supper tonight. I feel bad catching all of these fish that I'm just going to end up throwing back, but I'm looking for one in particular. So yes, I did meet a droil merchant in Casa at one point, and I don't know that I should tell him that olive leaves can magically turn you back if you get turned into an animal, because I'm not entirely sure how accurate that is. That may have been sheer dumb luck, to be honest. Oh, it does look like there's still some fish out there. At least this is nice and relaxing, and I can listen to the waves. It's almost like meditating. Just breathe in, breathe out at the waves. And maybe breathing will make me better at fishing. Because praying at a shrine certainly didn't. Okay, elude my bait again, why don't you? Oh, and my sulfur cloak. My sulfur spell faded. There we go. Nice warm sulfur color. But there's also a lot of ties to the sea and I guess the underworld, but also the spirit world. In the time of the Eldens, or The Eldons, I believe it was hinted at in old knot work and writings that are no longer currently anywhere I can find. That the waters of the Verve between part of the northern and eastern continent and the braided shore were inhabited by sea monsters, and as a result, the crossing to the braided shore was nearly impossible. Perhaps that's why there's a massive bridge that goes by Batsa. Though at this point the construction is rather broken down and unusable. So, and it is also hinted at that the Varim, which was the civilization that came to the braided shore after the Eldons, had sea beasts that they used as war beasts. I wonder if that is where the elusive sea cat came from. I think that's what it's called. Is it called the sea cat? It's a fish that has a, well, sea monster that has a large tail around it. About how someone tied a rope to the end so that it would always chase its tail and stop harassing ships. And so Varim I think they were called war beasts, but because of, I wonder who the Varim, I don't think it was ever specified who the Varim were fighting or struggling against. I haven't heard from any scholars in Rivenleaf, at least, about any specifics. Rivenleaf being the university in the north. I don't know that it's directly north of Casa. Casa more like northeast. And Casa has the largest council that, well, had before it was disbanded recently. Oh, what's this? Oh, cedar pink ayu. Ayu variant much smaller and rarer than its cousin. Its small size has made it a popular bait fish among fisherfolk. Archaeological evidence suggests that these fish were once common in the waters around the braided shore, but has since become nearly extinct. The cause of this extinction event is currently unknown, but professors at Rivenleaf University theorize that the fish may have been a Varim delicacy, which led to overfishing. If that is the case, it could teach a valuable lesson about restraint to fisherfolk of today. This must be what they're looking for. At least we're going to try, as that's the only cedar pink fish I have found thus far. I possibly should have teleported back on shore, but it feels a little bit lazy to use magic all the time at some points. Is this the fish you are looking for, Sebasti? You actually got one. I was beginning to lose hope. Me too. I had hired another fisher from Mur, but they quit after just a couple of weeks. My reason for wanting the fish? Oh, it's not for eating or mounting or anything like that. I am trying to knot a compendium of all the fish around the braided shore. The work has been going smoothly for the most part. Folk around here in the west seem more than happy to share what they know of the local fish. The difficult part has been gathering information on the rarer specimens. The fishers all seem to have different advice and information, so it seems that it falls to me to gather and study them myself. Just seeing the fish would be enough to knot something together, but I would deeply appreciate it if you would trade me the fish as well. I am not rich, but I would try to offer at least something in return. Hey, you did a good job. If you were interested in helping me further, meet me at the brim of Arabat and bring your fishing rod. I can do that. Here, I have plenty of fish. You can keep this one. It's fine. Oh, knots of thankful wishes. Thank you. Right. Brim of Arabat? I guess I have to walk back. Well, it's not terrible. And I have plenty of fish to eat if I get hungry. Maybe I should try to gather more olive leaves for good luck. Since the Zephyr seem intent on playing pranks today. Harrow Ledge. Now the only issue with getting through Harrow Ledge is I didn't bring my blade with me today. Which is going to make this interesting. Some mystics and apprentices. Occasionally there are bandits roaming around through here, but I don't always see them. Alright, past the graveyard to the south would be the brim of Arabat from Harrow Ledge. Can pick up some crocuses and balsam for knot spells because I like to use traveling or I do use spells that turn me into an animal, usually a deer, but goat is very good at traveling long distances. I'm assuming that he'll be down by the water if he's looking for fish. This is down by the water, right? Yes. Here's the coastline. Maybe at some point I will stop to have tea. And use some of that as protection. Since I didn't bring my crescent with me today. Maybe I should have kept the crescent fish so that I could throw it at people if they bothered me. Hello again. My assistant, you made it. Today I am searching for a large species of fish that are only ever supposed to be spotted in my home of billows. My father would no doubt turn as cinnabar as a beach lemon should he find out that similar fish could be found this far west. Nevertheless, I must document all I can, no matter what my billows pride tells me. Alright, large fish is... Alright, well, we're starting with the closest fishing spot, which I know is down here because I've had to fish before. I think there's another fishing spot in the north, but I don't usually go there. The Room of Arabat to the north also has a hidden... I guess hidden behind the caves is an alcove-ish area that occasionally interesting things and lockboxes wash up on. It's basically directly north of where I'm standing now. But this is the only other fishing spot I know of, aside from I think one further up. Oh, there's a lockbox here too. Well, we're going to hopefully have better luck with this than the cedar pink fish. And we're not going to pray at a shrine because I don't need the Sephora turning me into a goat again. This is fish snapper from the verve. The snappers in the verve have long been a staple food in places like Newfoundry and Mur, and most are still fine to eat. However, in recent years, some snappers have been caught carrying a strange and unnatural toxin in their bodies. The toxin does not seem to cause much harm when ingested, and the explanation for this phenomenon is still unexplained. But researchers from Rivenleaf urge people to hold off on eating certain fish from the verve until more studies can be done on the toxin. That sounds not as great. We're throwing that one back. Yes, I wonder what would be causing a toxin in the verve. That doesn't sound right. It's a rather large body of water. So that the issue would be found in Newfoundry and in prize-winning halibut? Good gods! And spirits 50... this is a monstrous fish which only a master fisher with a fishing rod and nerves of woots could have caught. This exceptional specimen is not only large but very beautiful, as well with perfect coloring and healthy fins. Whoever managed to catch something like this is a good shot at competing in the Billows Pike King Festival. Oh, that's right, the Billows is known for fishing and they have a festival on it. I'm sure that won't come up later. Gods, how much room does this take up? This takes up a good chunk of room in my pack. Okay, we're going to get back to shore as quickly as possible because I don't want this fish. It's pretty, it's lovely, that's wonderful. I don't want it. If I was going to eat it, perhaps, but as of right now, I'm perfectly fine. I have plenty of fish, unfortunately, and I'm going to have it cured fish for dinner for weeks, apparently.
Plazas are awful.
If I didn't just see you catch that beast, I would have thought you somehow made your way to Billows and back by magic means. I can teleport, but not that far. When I first heard the rumors, I thought it was just the mer fishers trying to brag, but I guess you proved me wrong, huh? If you ever found your way around Billows, I'd urge you to participate in the Pike Kings Festival. You would no doubt place fairly high with the skills like these. You know, I once participated. Just once. Anyway, after this, I am intending to scout out a place down south known as the Mist Keeper's Toe. Those streams are said to house an especially rare fish, and I am going to need your help in verifying those claims. Oh, and once again, if you want to trade me the halibut, then I would appreciate it. Gladly, this thing is going to take up way too much room in my bag. Much appreciated, Kalim. Down into my aquarium it goes. I don't know how you have a portable aquarium, but as a scholar of Rivenleaf, I'm not surprised. We're going to have a snack. I don't see why I would still have that thing in my bag. That makes little sense. Well, I'm not eating the... Did I not trade?
Plazas are awful.
I do not need this fish. Maybe I will trade it in Myrrh. I believe that the halibut qualifies as way too fishy. Let's see, Mist Keeper's Toe. I could run there, but maybe the fastest way would be to take a ferry from Myrrh first. At the very least, if I go to Batsaha, maybe I can get rid of the fish. Trading fish in Myrrh wouldn't make a lot of sense considering it is a fishing port and the traders here don't usually prize fish as highly as some other places. The traders here... No, the general store probably doesn't have any special preference on fish. I would not be surprised if there was some type of I mean, there has to be some trade for it. People usually trade for things. Hello, Warden. As you don't look like a fisher or a merchant, may I assume you seek passage on a ferry? The service to Batsaha is running according to schedule and can be boarded on this dock at the regular intervals. Oh, if you would like a ferry pass to guarantee passage, I would be happy to trade you for one. Well, since there's no one else on the dock, I'm not terribly worried. Though I might hop over to the tea house if you don't mind. Maybe there's a merchant that would like this fish. Or maybe not. Though now I am sorely tempted to just run. It's got to be faster to take the ferry, right? I guess none of the ferry takes forever to get here. Well, since the Sephra thought it was so terribly amusing to turn me into a goat while I was trying to get fish... No, wait. Of course. And the fairy shows up the second that I cast my own spell. Lovely. Well, at least this is my own spell so that I can cancel it very easily. Sure, let's grab some worms and hop back over to where the fairy is. All I had to do was waste magic and ingredients trying to turn into a deer to decide to run to Mistkeeper's Toe in order for the fairy to show up. How wonderful. Well, that's sort of how luck works, I guess. Since this is one of the Elden machines used to cross the river, I wonder how it survived if the Varim Age came after the Eldens and they had sea beasts that they used as war beasts. Or sea monsters? I guess they would be considered sea monsters. Though the Varim did use Elden infrastructure, so they probably didn't necessarily want the creatures attacking the fairies. That could be how they still survive. I wonder if there's a merchant on Batsaha that I can get to before the fairy shows up. It is specified for the little voice on the wind that asked about New Foundry and if they had learned to build the machines out of... figured out how to build them with Elden parts. New Foundry specifically, everyone I've talked to and every not binding I have read about the Elden machinery says that while New Foundry knows how some of the machines work and can repair them, they cannot build new ones. Let's see if there's maybe a merchant that will take some of this fish off my hands. New Foundry does have access to some of the Elden machines, such as a press that makes cogs, which are specifically used in let's see. That is a beautiful sword, but I do not believe that I can afford it right now. Or can I? that's a sword with a tail. Oh, this looks like this has an interesting story behind it. Well, I'm keeping all of these. I'm doing lots of fishing, so I don't think I'm going to need the crabs. I need to know the history of this sword. It is about piece of Pelgan, if I remember correctly. And I don't believe that I've actually ever managed to trade for it before. Okay, we need to stop taking a detour from fishing. But I guess that does solve my... this thing is lighter than the fish that I was carrying. That's amazing. That was lighter than the halibut I was carrying. Has the ferry come yet? Please? Maybe? No? Okay. Do I have anything else I could trade? I guess the Batsaha crabs are something I consistently end up seeing. Hello. Hello and welcome, friend. I am Azda, trader in esoteric spells and incantations. I know a few spells and incantations. I think I know most of these. Ancient poem, though. Are the true winds the air that blows around us, or the breath of life that escapes our nostrils? That's a lovely poem. I definitely have a copy of it. I know for sure I have that. Halibut are fairly large fish. I am not surprised that a sword, a hilt, is lighter than it, honestly. Not with a children's story. Back before the age of mortals, the four winds played across an unformed realm. The winds were merry in each other's company, but they were not allowed to touch. At first, the winds were content in loving each other from afar, but as time went on, the winds became more and more irresponsible, and began drifting closer and closer until they were close enough to touch. Closer, closer, and ever closer, the winds dared each other to be the first one to touch another, and then crash. The four half-winds were born. Oh, the half-winds that are malicious. Also, ferry. It's always good to have a nice story before I have to go on a boat ride. I'm not fond of boat rides. Well, for a child's tale, that's an interesting story about how the half-winds came to be. The four cardinal winds are those considered good luck and fortune and gift blessings alongside Sephra. The half-winds are known for bringing bad luck and malicious intent and not particularly nice things. And They used to, at least at one point, animate driftwood so that they into these weird constructs made out of magic and spite. I suppose I know several scholars who might be considered something motivated by magic and spite. But we're going to try to go fishing and not get distracted by all of the tales about half-winds and monsters and such. I'm sure it will go fine. Hopefully. Hopefully fine. Let's see. Oh, that reminds me. In New Foundry, if we're talking about ferries that go across the Verve and repairing Elden items, there is a factory that has a Elden machine called the Erin engine. That is the one that makes the cogs for probably all of the boats and everything that are still running today. And the trains. Supposedly, they also used to have a mechanical deer called the Tomback deer in New Foundry, but I believe several of the parts have been stolen. Alright, now we're not going to waste tons of time running to Mistkeeper's Toe. We're going to spend tons of time running to Mistkeeper's Toe as a deer. But the Erin engine, aside from missing several parts currently, I don't know that the Erin engine can work Master Iron, which is interesting because most of the Elden machinery is based off of the use of Master Iron. And yes, it's a miracle that we have enough Master Iron to keep certain boats and trains running, although there is a broken down engine in the Verve, if I am remembering correctly, as well as a, as I said, the Tomback deer missing parts. I have never found any specific knotweaves or literature that specified that the Erin engine can work Master Iron. There do seem to be some people that can work Master Iron, either that or they have some secret supply that I am unaware of, but there is a trader along the train tracks and in Western Verve that sometimes you can get Master Iron from. And so that's probably what helps supply the ferries. I know I've asked them for help. Alright, this is Mistkeeper's Toe, so we're going to not be a deer and hopefully not surprise our friend. Hello, Sebasti.
Plazas are awful.
Haha, I knew you would make it, my trusted assistant. How did I end up becoming your assistant? Have you seen a place so magnificent? I must admit that I have a slight aversion to water. One of the reasons I have asked you to catch fish for me. A silly thing for a fish documentary, wouldn't you say? Especially for one growing up in Billows, the city of fish. But the waters here, they do not scream or thrash as the rapids of Billows. They are serene, calm. Ah, you are kind to stand there and listen to me drone, but admiring the sights comes later. Now there are fish to catch. I managed to catch a glimpse of a bright jade crest the water just before you arrived. I believe that could be our prize. Okay, a jade fish. A fish with jade scales. I feel like there's more than one of those, but we'll try. Sebaste is a bit of a silly salmon. I appreciate whatever voice said that. That's a very, very amusing way to put it. Alright, let's get to fishing. And this time I'm not going to attempt to pray at a shrine. This is a common koi, a char umber koi found in most calm springs around the braided shore. The koi are remarkably calm around folk and even come up to the water if they think they might be fed. Certain tea houses near water have begun encouraging people to feed koi while enjoying their tea. Oh, that's a nice thing. That's okay, little guy. I'm going to throw you back. You're not who I'm looking for. Though you are adorable. I have seen Master Iron in cog form, disc form, and as draughts. Common roach. A common fish with shiny scales covered in thick, sticky mucus. This fish is very bony, and while it can be eaten, the patience and effort required to cook it leave other fish to be preferred. We're not keeping this one. But yes, the Aaron engine stamps out cogs. I wouldn't be surprised if it could work with both Woots and Master and anything up to Master Iron. But I don't know I don't know the consistency. The cogs that I've seen from the Aaron engine are not actually Master Iron cogs. This looks like a jade fish. Lucky jadefin fish. When the light of the moon shines on a pond of ethereal waters, when the four winds gently shake the jade trees into nature's calming dance, the jadefin is born in emerald waters. A chance encounter between the sky, the winds, the sea, and the soil. An ancient deeplander saying. Oh. I've always wanted to visit the Deeplands. I've heard that one of the oldest wind voices lives there. But if you're looking for a jade fish, I'm assuming this is the rarest one I can find. So, Sebastian Billows, I hope this is what you're looking for. Incredible. I never get fish like this in billows. I doubt this little fellow could make it in those waters. Those beautiful scales almost look as if they would flake off if hit by a gentle breeze, much less the full force of the fumes. That's right, the river fumes lets out into the ocean by the billows. I am sorry for dragging you half across the braided shore and back just for a fish, but I am hoping you will meet me once more back north. There is a lonely beach called Westwind Shores that is said to have a good number of fish that are only commonly found out at sea. I have a good feeling about that as our next destination. Alright.
Glasses are awful. Glasses
Here,
are
why don't you take care of the fish because I do not have an aquarium. Much appreciated, going. Down into the aquarium it goes. Yes, I don't know how you have an aquarium with you, but I'm not going to question that. Back north. Well, at least I have an easier way to get back north. Although there is another place near here where you can catch fish that are native to out at sea. Maybe I will try my luck here first. There are also deep sea fish that you can catch over here by the Lakato String Lighthouse. And I love visiting the lighthouse itself at night. It's gorgeous. However, I know there is a narwhal researcher that likes to frequent this area. And if you speak with them, well, they tell you a lot about narwhals, but also you're capable of... Oh, hello, there they are. You're capable of catching fish out this way that are deep sea fish as well. Before I go running north, I'll give this a few casts. No, that's a simple crescent fish. We'd be looking for something much bigger and deep sea looking. That's a rather poor description. Although there are only a couple of deep sea looking fish I know of that you can catch. The lanternfish being one of them, the other being I think there's a fish called an orphin, or as in boat, or not, yeah. Loaf? I don't need a blowfish, thank you. A deceptively small fish that can inflate its body when threatened. Its flexible skeleton acts as a defense mechanism and extends sharp spikes through the skin when the blowfish enters its inflated state. The blowfish is one of the most poisonous animals that inhabit the braided shore, not through its spikes, but through its meat. Preparing the meat to be edible requires a steady hand and much experience. The meat has subsequently become a delicacy among young thrill-seeking nobles, infamously resulting in the death of Grand Baron Kitos Pelgin. After the death of the noble, it was made illegal to prepare blowfish meat without a proper license from the Hands Human Union. All right. Well, we're just not. You can go back. It's fine. I do not know how to prepare that fish. I guess I could also attempt changing bait to the lantern shark. I caught a couple, so I could try. We're just going to try a couple more casts with the lantern shark. If it's a deep sea fish we're looking for, then maybe. Bag of soil. Alright, fine. We will not be trying to do that. I've delivered mail down this way. If you talk to the postmaster in Casa, you can come by here, and there is mail to be delivered, though I don't know how happy the wardens are if you talk to some of the people they have imprisoned here. Alright, I guess we are traveling north, and since I do not want to have to run all the way back north as a deer, I'm using the special spell called Traveler's Portal to get me back to Traveler's Meadow. It's a very useful spell. Traveler's Meadow is exceedingly beautiful, and I like to spend time there. It's one of the reasons why I didn't mind spending as much time fishing there. Alright. Now I am going to need to go to Westwind Shores. So we're going to avoid the ghosts and hopefully avoid any bandits because I am not particularly in the mood for a fight today. Actually, is there a fireplace around here? I thought there was. Yes, there is. Alright, let's see if the wood here is good enough to light. Okay. Good. This means that I should be able to make some tea. You do lose... You do have a horrible time if you eat blowfish. There's also a particular bug that if you eat it, you also can get very sick and have to go find a special tea or ask the guardians at the Temple of Batsaha for magic to help you recover. If you don't know someone with the ability to help you recover. I specifically learned several healing knot spells so that I could make sure that some of my traveling partners who were a little bit more adventurous with eating poisonous fish than I was didn't end up mating the Sephra too soon, or the spirit world. bandits out here, but the fact that there are several wardens makes me wary. I'll first go to the Rivenleaf scholars that are currently studying the winds in this area. Westwind Shores is known for unlucky half winds. Hello. Zephyr's feathers, I almost took you for a Kitem. Me and Evan are out here on Windmaster Karim's errand to study the mystic properties of the winds. The thuds of the Kitem steps used to keep us from our work and our sleep, but now they have been surprisingly silent. I sure miss my warm and comparatively quiet apprentice cell back in Rivenleaf. Hello, Cafe. That is not who I am looking for. So he's not over by the house. Where are you? Oh, hello, Sebastian.
Plazas are awful.
Assistant, you came. How glad I am to see you. This is the furthest west I have yet been. I wonder if there is somewhere even more west to go. Another shore beyond the horizon, perhaps? Not that I could ever travel across the water. Forgive me, my mind is still wandering. I discovered an old friend here. She is a novice wind voice on an apprenticeship here from Rivenleaf. I studied in Rivenleaf as well, albeit very briefly, but there the two of us became friends. We called ourselves the Little Ezotero, a little gang of sorts. It was me, Kevi, and another student who called themselves Zaskia. I am glad that Kevi is safe and is doing well. We were all studious, but she was the most academic. But I am rambling. You came all the way here for the fish, not my old academy stories. If there was some rare ocean fish here in the west, I bet you could catch one here. Try to find a spot far out on the water as you can. Far out on the water as I can. Alright, we'll see what I can do. I suppose I could teleport to the lighthouse area, but I'm not 100% sure that I want to go running all the way down Westwind Shores to run all the way back Westwind Shores. I don't know that I can cast far enough, though. From this location, at least. Alright, I guess we will attempt it. But sometimes there are fish that swim out by the island in the middle of Westwind Shores. And you can sometimes cast from this pier, although it's currently occupied. So I'm not going to do that. But I am going to try to get to the island in the middle. Eating spiny fish and bugs are indeed bad for you. What I feel like the voices in my head are playing tricks on me. You're not going to convince me that eating the low fin fish is safe for me. That is not what is going to happen. There's the island. Alright. Let's see if I can get to it. Right. Got it. Two omen on my shoulders, and both are trying to get me to ingest poisonous fish. Great, good. This is a lovely day. That and the Sephra that decided to turn me into a goat. Oh, there is a chicken out here. Hello, chicken. Gives you an uninterested look. I can trade with you? Do you want a pet treat? The creature accepts your treat with great interest. You appear to have gained a friend. Peck, nibble, nibble, crunch. Psst. Don't tell Mitra. Oh my gosh, it's a talking chicken. Don't tell Mitra I told you, but the fastest running animal port is that of the deer. Oh. Oh, so that is the fastest. I was wondering. Alright. We have poisonous fish, talking chicken, and a shrine that turned me into a goat earlier today. Good day. Great, great day. Alright, hopefully we can catch this fish. There is in fact a singing chicken down by the Scald's Retreat in, what's it, the Burnings. What do you mean, am I out of bait? Oh, wait, no, I shouldn't be. I have lantern sharks. At least I think the lantern sharks would be the best thing to use to try to get this thing, if it's a deep sea fish. I've heard that some deep sea fish are attracting to light. Alright, well... I guess we'll try regular old worms for now. I feel the need to eat something. Well, do I have... I still have some fish. I could just have some boots fish. Worms are not a thing I would particularly eat. Although I guess I could also have some of the false carp. That would probably be better, as I usually use the Woots fish for bait. You know, the last time that I ate worms, I got sick. So I don't think I will eat worms particularly. But yes, there's a singing chicken down by the Scald's place. I've also heard that the Billows tournament has a carved sculpture. Oh. More lanternfish. Maybe I can attempt to use those to... But yes, apparently there is a singing fish trophy that you can get from a fishing competition. Having no luck with the lanternfish right now, so we're just going to give up on that. Come on, please. Keep the lanternfish, but I really, really would like it if you would maybe give me another fish. A different deep sea fish. I'm not going to pray to the Sephra because I am worried about what might happen if I do. The lantern sharks are in fact taunting me because for some reason they're not being very good bait right now. Oh, no, I don't need another poisonous blowfish, thank you. No, thank you. The omens on my shoulders telling me to eat poisonous fish do not need me to have poisonous fish in my pockets. I don't need a false carp. Come on, please. None of these are really deep sea fish outside of the lantern shark, and I'm sure that Sebastian Billows would tell me if it was a lantern shark that they wanted. Those are all common fish. Prize-winning halibut. Alright, you're getting thrown back. I do not have enough energy to lug around one of those again. The voice that said blowfish are technically illegal. Yes, in the braided shore I'm fairly certain they are illegal. They were outlawed and you have to have a license from the Hands Union in order to prepare them. Fresh salmon. Admired for its silver cobalt scales and light snabar wholesome meat, the braided shore salmon can be found in most of the region's faster flowing rivers. When the salmon migrates from one river to another, it can at times be caught along the coast as well. Ah, alright, well, I'm going to throw that back. There's also a rule as far as food that is outlawed in the braided shore that wine is also, and alcohol is outlawed. Which I believe is why people have taken to making grape cider. Which doesn't seem to me to be completely legal either. But I am not a council member, nor... Great. Brittle wooden comb. That's not what I'm looking for. We'll try casting a little bit further. Although this is casting further towards the shore, so that might not be the best option. A catfish, a common coastal fish with facial barbels similar to the whiskers of its namesake mammal. The meat of the catfish is versatile taste and can be cooked in a number of different ways. Around the northern and western regions of the braided shore, catfish is often found grilled or fried, while southern folk typically enjoy a good spicy catfish stew. Well, different fish, but we're not there yet. More catfish. Alright, come on. That's a little too heavy for me to carry around. Well, apparently I accidentally made a friend in this scholar that needs fish. And now I'm stuck standing in the water on westwind shores trying to catch a deep sea fish. I'm not fond of taking boats or ferries, but I can deal with standing in water. I do not need a sun guard, however. Thank you very much. So, fishing along the braided shore, as I've mentioned, is common. The fact that some fish seem to have toxins in them is not wonderful. This is a really strange looking fish. Oh yes, this is an oarfish. I've heard of them. An enormously long fish with flat, bony body that mostly resides at the bottom of the ocean. When oarfish become older, they sometimes surface and may accidentally beach themselves near land. Sightings of the oarfish is thought to have been the origin behind many Askin tales of sea monsters. The meat of the oarfish has an unappetizing consistency, and the fish is rarely caught for eating. Most oarfish that are caught end up mounted as display trophies in the home of whoever caught it or bought it. Well, I guess this might be what we're looking for. If it is a deep sea fish. Get me off of this island and out of the water, please, and thank you. Please tell me this is what you're looking for, Sebastian. I don't want to stay in the water right now. Assistant, you came. How glad I am to see you. Yes, this is is this not the fish you're looking for? Please tell me it's the fish you're looking for. I know about your childhood friends. I need to... Oh dear lords, it's so heavy it won't fit in my pack. Well... I guess we can have a snack. And get rid of the lanternfish because we won't be using them. And get rid of the wootsfish because we won't be using them. Now I have barely any room in my pack at all. Yay, please Take this fish away from me. Sephra's feathers, did you pull up the damn sea cat? No, I hope I didn't. I feel like the sea cat would eat me. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't caught any of the sea cat fish. There's these little fish that people tie ropes to their tails, which I find very mean. But they do it in reference to the mythical sea creature called the sea cat. No, it might look like a monster, but this is definitely a fish. Your service to this compendium is without question. I might even consider you an honorary member of the Little Esoteran for your efforts. I am sure Kefi wouldn't mind, and Saskia, well, I'm not sure where he is, to be honest. Probably skulking around some graves, I'd wager. That's an interesting place to go skulking. Now, my friend Kefi told me of a temple deep inside Charwood's forest to the south. There's no temple in Charwood Forest. I would much like to have a gander. I feel strangely drawn to it. I would be very glad if you wanted to join me there next. Charwood Forest. Yes, please. Please take this fish. I do not want it. Thank you. I don't know how this fits in your aquarium. That aquarium has got to be very, very large. It has to be magical. Saskia... what was their last name? There's a gravedigger I met named Saskia that could use bone to infuse magic into crescent swords. I don't believe I currently have one, but... Oh, I should gather some wind dust before I go. I've used a lot of knots of gold for teleportation, so I should gather some up here. And while I'm at it... Hello, Kefi, don't mind me. I am simply looking for wind dust. I know that some of it pools around the wind foils. Assuming I can find it. There's some... Do we just not have a lot today? That would make me very sad. Well, I got a little bit. It's... something's better than nothing. Alright, well, I don't have any great reliable way to get south aside from running, and we're very far out being in Westwind Shores. So I guess I could risk a random teleportation spell. May as well. It's not as if temporarily not using the deer port will really harm me. Let's try our luck. I don't have a lot of ingredients for Veiled Gate, but we'll try it. Saskia Ale, thank you for the wind voice. Well, no, wind voices are mystics. Voice on the wind? Would that be a Zephyr or no? I guess that wouldn't necessarily be a Zephyr. I don't know every type of spirit in the Braided Shore. Here we go. Wish me luck. Please bring me closer to Charwood Forest. Where am I? Oh, God. Alright, I think the Sephra are playing tricks on me. I think this is Afan's little hideout in Westwind Shores. Did it just teleport me to the same, basically the same location? Yes, it did. Do Sephra, please. I don't have very many of these left to cast. I just need to get closer to Charwood Forest. Although the only temple I know of is the Forgotten Temple. That sounds like the temple in the north of Jade Urn, which I guess counts as south of Charwood. The Sephra are in a mood today. I'm here trying to catch fish, and they have decided that I am going to turn into a goat when I ask for help and luck. And then they decide to teleport me to the exact same place where These are the Casa sewers. But there is an exit to Charwood Forest if I can remember where it is. There is a smuggler's portal out of here. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, that was... Second try isn't bad. I'm going to need to find more mirror leaf ash and silk flower, but second try is not terrible. Even though it's kind of rude that they threw me into the sewers. But fine. There are worse things. Yes, Saskia Ale is the grave digger that I met that can use bone dust and us to enchant blades. You can find him hanging around grave sites at night. Why, I do not know. But Sebastian and Kefi both apparently knew him, or at least went to school with him, and were close enough friends. All right, we have made it to Casa. Oh, hello. There's a dog here. Hi, buddy. Yeah, you're adorable. You're so cute. All right. So, there is... I definitely didn't use magic to get into Casa, despite it being locked down. There is also another portal that leads out to Charwood, if I can remember. Is it down this alley? Yes, it is. So yes, currently we... At the very least, it didn't take me as long as I thought to get the oarfish. Those things are deep sea fish, so I suppose it could have taken me much longer than it did. I wish that there's this sea... I wish I could remember the full story about this sea cat. Let's see, we said south of Charwood, which is Jade Urn. Because there's no temple in Charwood Forest. There is a burned down house, but there is no temple. Unless Huv Eridom counted as a temple at one point, but there's no body of water near there. And the body of water in Charwood Forest is in the northeast. Alright, well, at the very least we can pick up some olive leaf, and I think there's mirror ash in Charwood as well. And some silk flower. I suppose there is a hidden temple that has mirror ash and silk flower. And so I could check to see if that's the temple that Sebastian Billows mentioned where he's looking for a fish. I don't know what fish he would be looking for at a forgotten temple that has elden ruins all over it, but there we go, mirror ash. We're not praying at any more random altars. I don't need to be turned into a goat right now, thank you. So this is northeast Jade Urn and I guess southwest Charwood? I do not need any random things. Here we go. Jade Urn Pavilion. This is a forgotten temple with a bunch of elden ruins around it. It's the only one in the area that I think he could be talking about. It also has several elden statues in it, though there are scholars you can meet on Batsaha that would argue over whether the elden statues are truly elden or whether they are Varim in make. I guess the Elden and Varim architectures were different, and the Varim architecture was less well made and fell down more. There we go, it is this temple. Alright, what are we looking for, Sebastian? What a sight to share with a friend. At this point, I hope I am not mistaken to consider you as such. Sure. What a great structure all the way out here in the forest. It reminds me of the temple fish market back home, but if that home no longer had the busyness of everyday life. Gone the fisherfolk, gone the briny smell, gone the lights of amber. In this place I cannot help but feel an eerie familiar cobalt sorrow. I am unsure if we will catch anything here, but you have surprised me before, friend. Alright, there are two places to fish. There's one up here, and there's one back here by the Elden statues. I guess if you're looking for strange fish, back by the Elden statues would be the place to go. Alright. No, we can... Hello, fish. Let's see what we can get. Small claw river crab. A tiny crab with tiny claws that travels around the braided shore by floating along river currents. Getting through the light shell of the crab is easy for most predators, though the meager meat inside provides little more than a mouthful. Alright, well, I'm not looking to eat crab right now, so... I wish I could remember where those fish usually hang out that are named for the sea cat. More river crabs, okay. Come on. Something more interesting than a river crab would be nice. I don't know that I ever considered this place eerie. It always seemed rather calm. Though one of the journal and knotweave entries I've found around here describes it as not terribly calm. And an eerie cobalt feeling would indicate something closer to... Yeah, that's what cobalt is associated with. No more small claw river crabs. Maybe I should go try to fish at the other area. But fishing near the statue seems to be the more interesting place to catch things. Though how a bunch of crabs got into this little pond is beyond me. There's also the Batsaha crab, which I think is the one that's more often eaten. But those, obviously, you catch mostly around the Verve and around Batsaha and not in small ponds and rivers. Had I not gotten rid of some of my bait, I probably would have switched it out. What is this? This is a fish with tons of eyes. Many-eyed goldfish, an unnerving fish said to hail from the Sea of Despair itself. The Sea of Despair is in the spirit world. What? The scales of the fish are covered in a sticky oil that reeks of briny decay. By far the most disturbing part of the fish is its head, 100 bulbous eyes staring in every direction and no mouth to be seen. Only the brave or foolish fisher would attempt to eat something so foul. I would rather not eat that, thank you. I've already had the voices on the winds tell me to eat poisonous blowfish and insects today. Here, please take this. I don't want it. This is a weird thing I found. You're the fish expert. Sephra's feathers, is that even a fish, friend, or just a pile of wet ruin goo? Maybe both. It does not even have a mouth, but those eyes. This creature makes me wildly uncomfortable. I'd wager no one back home has seen such a thing. I am hesitant to accept this fish, but I did make a vow to complete my compendium. Should I leave this foul thing out, or should I study it further? I suppose the decision is yours, friend. Give it to me if you think I should study it, otherwise you can just throw it back. In any case, there are a couple more catches that I have been searching for. I think I'll stay here for a while longer, try to figure things out. I'll be heading west into Charwood soon. There are some old derelict shacks there by a lake. I'll meet you there. Oh, I know those. I think I know where you're talking. No, you're the fish researcher. You You take the weird fish, please. I don't know what to do with this thing. If it's from the spirit world, maybe you can learn something from it. Hideous, you know that I study it closer. I cannot help but find it just a bit fascinating in a macabre sort of way. Yes, I will study this creature further. I can tell it has secrets just laying in wait behind those glassy eyes. Cool. You're the scholar. I don't know what to do with the strange fish from the Sea of Despair. That sounds like a Rivenleaf scholar thing. We're just going to leave this at I want nothing more to do with that fish, thank you. You know, I never found the Jadern Pavilion particularly scary, even though occasionally I've met some bandits in the area, but, maybe I'll not go fishing there again. Just, you know, maybe we don't go fishing there. Alright, let's get to Charwood. Oh, hello, moss enthusiast. There's a train conductor that likes moss a lot. You know, come to think of it, I also got a spell called the Knot of the Infamous that changes your eye color and is supposed to protect you from those who believe in the sleeper. From a conductor in Western Verve. They don't have the spell on this day, but I think they have the spell usually at the start of the week. You know, I was also coming here to try to collect some mirror ash, but I'm not seeing a lot of it right now. I don't think it's along the path. I think it actually is further out. There's a hunter out here. Stay away from dangers, wanderer. I will try my best. Including dangerous fish that the voices want me to eat. The many-eyed gloamfish. Well, gloam would indicate... Gloam would indicate evening, because I think that's what the gloaming means. Or twilight. And the Sea of Despair in the spirit world is associated... I don't think it's associated with the Swamp Fiend. I think that is a different area, but I'm not sure. Either way, Sea of Despair is not necessarily the best place for souls to go. Usually, souls go to the spirit world depending on how they left this one. So my guess is not particularly happy ends met those who went to the Sea of Despair. I did have... Alright, let's get to this other place that If they said that the area is by the lake, then that's probably the lake in northern Charwood. Sebastian is a scholar. I'm sure that they'll be fine. They know how to study fish. I don't. I do not know how to study fish at all. I have no training in creepy magical fish. Many-eyed gloamfish is not a pleasant name, voice. Here we go. This is the area that has the... Oh, no, I don't mean to cast... I cast a portal instead. Oh well. Great, now I really am going to need ingredients for that. There we go. Rundown house. Lake in northern Charwood. Hello, Sebastian. I need to go to a tea house. And then, yes, the taste. So much of it makes sense now. Did you eat it? What? Have the voices been talking to you too? Apologies, I was preoccupied by my notes on this monstrosity you caught for me last we spoke. I have drawn hundreds of diagrams since then, detailing the ever-changing inner workings of this thing. It is unlike any fish or sea-dwelling creature I have laid my eyes upon. Now only the final test on my curious treasure remains. The taste. No, do not eat that. Why don't you go off and try to catch me something rare here in the woods? I think I heard something about a mystical salmon. Now I must give this specimen my undivided attention. As long as you don't eat it. As long as you don't eat it, it's fine. Don't listen to the voices. Oh, good night to the omen that is heading into a pocket. I don't know whose pocket you're heading into, but hope to see you soon. Oh, jade-eyed salmon. Oh, that's lucky. This jade-eyed beauty is as elusive as it is strange. While normal salmon are able to swim upstream in rivers, these jade-eyed mysteries have been seen leaping up waterfalls along their journey. These salmon can normally be found around pale jade rock, but when the season is right, they migrate inland up the wall of fumes and beyond the wall to the unwound waters unknown. Oh. The unwound beyond the wall? That's an area where no one has ever gone or returned from. People that have tried to lead expeditions over the wall have either not made it over or never come back. Here, maybe this will distract you from the weird fish you are currently looking at. I know this taste. Oh, Sephra, I know it. I remember it all. What? I have tasted this before, so long ago. Haha, oh, you're back. With the fish, you may keep it. This compendium is worthless compared to the path that this wonderful specimen has led me down. Excuse me. I will need some time to finalize my notes properly. outside Casa in Sarum Fields. We shall head in there together to celebrate our serendipitous discovery.
Plazas are
No?
awful.
Excuse? All right, which one of the voices told the fish compendium researcher to eat the strange spirit fish? Which one of you did it? All right. I guess I'll try to get to Casa. This is... Right, I got lucky, caught the salmon first try, and now I don't know what to do with it because the researcher is obsessed with the oily goop, many-eyed eldritch fish. Lovely. You know, I would think that researchers from Rivenleaf would have a little more restraint when dealing with strange creatures that may or may not have come from the spirit world. Just maybe, possibly, ish. A tiny bit. I hear one of the voices saying, "Not me," and I do not trust you. Wait, where am I? I'm right near Casa. Convenient. But he didn't say he was going to meet me in Casa. He said Serum Fields, which means I will have to go trekking through the cistern again. Lovely. Wonderful. Great. This is... The entirety of today seems to be Sephra playing a prank on me because they felt like they were bored and there wasn't enough horror in the world. Alright, maybe he'll be feeling better by the time I get there. That's probably wishful thinking. Well, I know researchers in Rivenleaf have lost their marbles before voice in my head, but it's usually... I don't know. I would think that he would know better. He studies natural phenomenon, or they study natural phenomenon. I don't know. I've never heard of them referred to as he or she, as they referred to Kefi as she. But if you study natural creatures, wouldn't you know when you shouldn't, that you shouldn't eat ones that... There are normal poisonous creatures. Why would you eat something that was... Alright, never mind. We're just going to get through the cistern to get out of here and... yeah. And then hopefully find our way over to Serum Fields, and hopefully Sebastian Billows has recovered a little bit by then. Did you eat a fish that looks like a horror from the spirit world? Even if you're starving, it probably wouldn't even... would that even be filling at all? It's too bad I can't just hop on a train from here to get to Serum Fields. That would make this trek a little bit faster. But just deciding to randomly eat a fish that seems to come from one of the worst parts of the spirit world doesn't seem like a wise idea. Although, as far as researchers from Rivenleaf losing their minds, I believe there was a story about... I have a replica necklace of a key that supposedly drove a researcher up a wall. I wonder if I do have that on me. I carry it with me sometimes. Yes, a replica Fulgem pendant. The real original behind the Fulgem key is unknown, but it has hung in the back of the vaults of Rivenleaf for as long as anyone can remember. Among many other mystical artifacts that have been locked away, this key hangs alone and isolated. Ominous legends among Rivenleaf students tell of Merhab, who found the key deep in the bowels of the castle. Because the Habs of Rivenleaf used to be a dynasty. He tried the key on every door, every chest, and every cabinet in his castle, searching for the lock it belonged to. His curiosity turned to obsession when lock after lock rejected the key, and when no lock fit in the castle, he stormed through the surrounding villages on a mad rampage, checking every lock he could in an incident that became known as the Season of Shut Locks. It is said that the search ended when who was found one morning, the key planted deep into his own heart. It is said that the key has not been touched since, for fear of the madness it may once more unleash. Serenus, wandering storyteller. Alright, fair. Although that wasn't necessarily a Rivenleaf scholar, it was one of the Habs, which was technically one of the rulers of Rivenleaf before it was a university. Alright, I understand being curious and wandering into places you're not supposed to. I do that a lot. Oh, yay! That's Ezifar, the story collector. Story collector? Yes, he collects stories. Actually, do you happen to have anything on the spirit world, sir? Asking for a friend. Let's see, narrative or instructive. All the thoughts live the way to the temple. Metaphysics not leave. The three masters, spirits, rule over the three realms of the spirit world. The sea beast, the swamp fiend, and the whisper spirit. The sea beast must be the one that rules over the sea of despair. History lesson not leave. History. Okay, so the sea beast probably rules over the sea of despair. The swamp fiend probably rules over the bitter barrens, and The whisper spirit rules over the meadow, which is the last area of the spirit world, as far as I know, before soul is reborn and flies over the... What is the sea called? There isn't... It's... Into the Everlast is what I've heard it called. Oh, look. I wouldn't normally use magic just to run, but I need to try to get to a friend right now. Who may or may not have eaten a cursed, many-eyed eldritch horror fish from the spirit world and is now going insane. We're going to hope that he is feeling better. Maybe. There are several creatures from the spirit world that don't cause untoward harm towards mortals, but I also don't think that they really pay attention if they do or do not. Which I guess makes some amount of sense. Alright. If he doesn't know how to get into Casa, I can probably show him. Because this way is blocked off as of right now. The only ways into Casa are to sneak in. There you are, Sebastian.
Plazas are awful.
The city appears to be closed, but I am glad you made it. I need something delivered, and you are the only one I trust to do it. My research is complete, and the things I know now were preordained long, long ago. I've learned things that I would have never known in Billows or in Rivenleaf. You did not place me on this path, but you made sure that I followed through with it. Haha, it's enough to make my head spin. I have found another partner who has expressed an interest in funding further delves into depths uncharted. I would like you to take it to my discreet patron. Their representative will be waiting in the Voices Tavern on the shore of Little Slip. All right. And with that, our dealings will be done. I must isolate myself and dedicate my undivided attention to my research. Okay. I'm just gonna go away over here and, read whatever it is you just handed to me. Please don't mind me. Raving knotweave on the metaphysics of the clonefish, a collection of barely coherent knots. And now I realize what it was that I saw. I was there, the rotten swamp, a sea in all directions, a booming, deafening sound all around as if it was reverberating from you, the primordial depths of your skull itself. The sound surrounds you like oil until you cannot be certain if the sound is still there or if a profound silence has taken its place. Huh. All right. I don't know that that counts as feeling better. Okay, maybe the person at the Voices Tavern has more answers. Maybe from now on I should stick to delivering mail and not delivering fish. But I'll hurry to the Voices Tavern as quickly as I possibly can. Come on. Why is it when I am in a hurry that the portals never want to work quickly? Okay. Now there should be an entrance to Little Slip from Westwind Shores. And on the way, hopefully I can pick up some mirror ash. And if I'm lucky, maybe there's silk flower, thank goodness. At least there's some silk flower over here. I need that for portals, and I don't necessarily have the most ingredients left for all of my knot spells. Well, I have some dried and stored in the train stash that the conductors have so graciously let me use. However, silk flower runs out rather quickly when it takes a lot to... And now I am getting hungry. You know, I'm not really feeling like eating fish, even though I do have a fish. Well, it's a jadeite salmon. They're supposed to be not bad. Yeah, sure, fine. We'll go with that. At least it supposedly only traveled from, I don't know, another mysterious place in this world as opposed to the spirit world. Alright, I just need to get the little slip to figure out whoever it is at the Voices Tavern that he needs to contact, and maybe they will have some answers for me. I suppose this is not the way to Voices Tavern. Snowberries. Oh. Those are much nicer to eat. Let's keep some berries instead of fish. I think I'm quite done eating fish. Yes, Sebastia seems, I think the term might be manic instead of just excited over that fish discovery, whatever he discovered. I don't understand what he discovered. Most of the knotweave that he referenced was completely incoherent and unreadable, aside from what seemed like a mention that he had been to the spirit world. But I don't know how that's possible. It seemed like the area he was describing was either the Sea of Despair or the Bitter Barrens, which I believe is where the Swamp Fiend rules over. And those are the only areas I can think of that would have loud booming. Maybe the booming noises refer to waves? Perhaps. Waves along the seashore are excessively loud. Or maybe it was an area at the edge of the Bitter Barrens or the swamp and the sea. I don't know. Oh, giving him the fish may have been a mistake. I thought if he was a researcher, he would know not to eat the fish. Alright, let's see if we can figure out who... There aren't a lot of people in the tavern during the day, so... I doubt it's the tea house caretaker. Is there anyone else here? Oh. I suppose there is. There's a hooded figure. Wait, you want... Do you want this? Why are you handing me a stick? The courier arrives with words they do not understand. But the words are not for you, they never were. You have played your part, be content in that. Kalim, I will grant you twain of boons for your actions. One is a boon of words. Despair to drowning. It is drowning in waters where you are completely and utterly alone. Drowning to hope. Hope just barely visible on the horizon, but forever elusive. Hope to despair, reaching the golden surface just as something finds your leg and pulls you back down into the depths. You can paddle forever, and it knows this. It knows that you will keep treading water until your skin bloats and disintegrates. The only escape is looking down, seeing the million eyes staring up at you, and realizing that there is no escape. My second boon to you is hope. It is fleeting and cannot last forever, but it is hope. Sir, could you maybe elaborate on the knot weave and not the Okay, I usually am a courier. I usually deliver mail, and I have even delivered mail to ghosts before, but good Sephra, what is this nonsense? And what else did you give me? Sodden boon. A wet and wicked branch from a type of tree you don't recognize. The morose aura that clings to the wood is enough to make the hair of one's neck stand on edge. Could this be what hope truly is? Excuse? What? Alright, I have a stick that is soggy and seems to make me walk faster and has a spiritual aura around it. Lovely, that is not... No, no, you know what, maybe I'm done doing deliveries for today. Maybe this is enough, and I should not deliver strange fish to researchers who apparently don't know not to eat the creepy eldritch horror fish. And to perhaps rethink my life and figure out what I'm going to do with this possibly cursed stick. We'll think this over at a later time. For now, I'm going to find somewhere else to go rest. Maybe, is there a shed or something I can hide in? Oh, they have the kitchens. There's no kitchen staff down here, right? Oh, there is. Sorry. Oh, that's just the cleaner. Hello. You don't mind if I just hang out down here, do you? No, maybe. I don't know that he can... Just out of curiosity. The stick I currently have, the cane that I have, is a J-tip cane that is supposed to help you walk faster. What does this do? Oh dear gods. Okay, well that's... Now I think I'm moving a little faster. Huh. But maybe we're not going to bother the cleaning staff, because that seems kind of rude. I'll just find somewhere else. Oh, speaking of Sephra, I forgot that the cloud also hangs around the Voices Tavern. Maybe it's the cloud that was... Well, no, he usually stays here. I was going to say maybe it's the cloud that was making my life ridiculous today. Alright, we'll just, I don't know, go fall asleep next to an Elden statue and maybe then rethink everything. Yeah, that sounds about right. Get some mirror ash to help with teleporting out of here, just in case some other strange occurrence befalls me. Well, winds and spirits and stars, I hope that was entertaining, and I have no idea what I'm going to do about Sebastian. Maybe Keffy would know, but safe travels. Don't eat the glowing fish.